Welcome to the Own It Powercast, the place to be when you get serious about making big changes and accelerating growth in your life and in your relationships. Finally create the life you've always wanted, living life on your own terms. Learn how to take your fear and turn it into powerful choices that will create sustained change. Now your host, Mary Baker.
Hey everyone, welcome back to the Own It Powercast, the place to come to get what you need to move yourself forward. Hey, it's Mary Baker and welcome to episode 190. Real self-care means caring about your boundaries. Well, welcome to a brand new month, which will be devoted to self-care and different aspects of it, because taking care of ourselves, I think, can mean so many things. The first half of the month, we're going to focus on healthy boundaries and self-discipline. And the second half on our physical self-care, taking good care of our bodies and our overall wellness. I will have a very special guest to help us do that, so don't miss those episodes. So self-care, I think, involves taking care of your physical, your emotional, and your mental well-being. Caring about your boundaries, I think, is a very important aspect of self-care because it helps you protect your well-being and maintain a healthy balance in your relationships, especially in your interactions with others. Having clear boundaries means that we're able to set limits on what we're willing to accept or tolerate and what we're not. This helps us to avoid becoming overwhelmed or feeling taken advantage of, feeling resentful, feeling burnt out. So it protects our mental and emotional health. When we practice self-care by establishing and maintaining healthy boundaries, both with others and with ourselves, then we can prioritize our own needs and well-being and avoid burnout and stress. This, in turn, I think, can lead to greater happiness, fulfillment, and success, even professionally. So this week, I want to talk about how self-care, when you get down to it, really is about caring for your boundaries. That means being very intentional about them, making a plan to implement them, and then ways we can have accountability so we can stay on track. Because if we don't prioritize ourselves, everything else, even the stuff that doesn't seem to be connected to self-care, will suffer. That I can promise you. And we've all experienced it. Saying no is actually nurturing. Now, at first glance, you wouldn't think that those two words would belong in the same sentence, but they really do. Saying no can be nurturing, I think, because it allows you to prioritize your own needs and well-being. And that's really showing yourself that you matter, not more or less than anyone else, but that you matter and that your needs matter. So here are some ways that saying no can have a positive impact on your self-care. First, number one, it protects your time and energy. Saying no to commitments or activities that don't align with your values or your goals, even just your goals this week or today or this weekend, allows you to conserve your own time and energy for things that really matter to you. Now, of course, you're going to be tested and people are going to call you on Friday and say, hey, can you help me this weekend? And you had just planned some downtime or time to clean your closets or whatever. And that's where the boundary work comes in, where we have to choose and not people please. The second thing that saying no does is it can reduce your stress and burnout, especially over time. Overcommitting or taking on too much can lead to increased stress and burnout. It's like that we know. But by saying no to non-essential tasks or activities, you can prevent burnout and prioritize your well-being because you need balance. You need to have time to rest, to regroup, to rejuvenate. If it's not an emergency, then there should be balance in your week. You can't maintain a high level of stress and work and all of that without paying for it. Saying no supports our mental and emotional health. Taking on too much, accepting unrealistic expectations from others. In other words, people who might be a little self-centered or just so stressed out and chaotic themselves that they're not thinking, gosh, do you even have time to help them today? But This stuff can lead to feelings of frustration, resentment, anxiety. You're really stressed out to be around. Deep down, you're angry. And you're angry at yourself because you didn't say no. That's why saying no can help you protect your mental and emotional health and your relationships. Because guess what? Others are going to like being around you more, even if they're initially disappointed because you said no. Keep reminding yourself of that. Saying no increases your self-esteem. If you're saying no to things that don't line up with your values or your goals or what you want to do this week or what you need to do, every time you have the courage to honor that, that increases your feelings of self-worth and self-esteem and self-trust. Saying no in a respectful and loving yet assertive manner can help you establish healthy boundaries in your relationships and communicate your needs more effectively. And guess what? It's going to help you respect their needs, their boundaries, their self-care as well. It's hard to value something for someone else if we don't truly value it for ourselves. So therefore, saying no is nurturing to yourself because it allows you to prioritize your own well-being, mitigate stress and burnout the best you can, and have better, healthy, more honest relationships with those around you. What do we mean by saying no to things that you don't want? What are those things? Now, this list could be endless, and you're going to have your own list. But I just want to mention a few things here just to get you thinking or remembering what you might need to say no to. The biggest one is more stress. We have enough, right? One area of stress is other people's problems. Love them, but try to practice detachment. Like, is it yours to fix, help with, or make go away? Do you even have any time or energy or the power to do that? Are you rescuing maybe because you don't trust them to do it perfectly like you would? Do you feel guilty if you don't help? Is it earned or unearned guilt? Like, should you feel guilty because, yeah, you committed and now you want to back out? And that's one thing. But you don't have to feel guilty just because they want your help and you can't help them right now. Just because they doesn't mean you, remember? More acutely, engaging in relationships or activities that are toxic or draining to you, that creates big time stress because then you're not even honoring you if you put up with stuff that's inappropriate and draining. It could even be your sister who you love to pieces and she's a great person, but she can't get it together. She doesn't want to set boundaries. She doesn't want to change. That will drain you. She's not meaning to, but getting caught up in her movie is going to drain you. Another thing you might not want is other people not being helpful. Either stop asking them or set a limit. Say you can't be the only one cleaning up the kitchen every night. Maybe all of you must pitch in so you can have some time for other things that evening. Making a choice, setting a boundary. Say no to mistreatment. This should be obvious, but maybe it's really subtle mistreatment that you're not taking a look at. Not showing up for more abuse is an important self-care boundary. Maybe you just don't engage as much. Maybe you don't pick up the phone. Maybe you let it go to voicemail. Maybe you wait to respond with a text. Maybe you don't share as much vulnerable information with that particular person. Maybe you get some therapy around it, some assertiveness coaching. Maybe you just try to focus on something else. Another thing you might not want is more chaos. That means getting serious about planning better, being more proactive, maybe simplifying some things so it's not so crazy, maybe cut back on activities and get with reality in terms of you don't get more than 24/7, right? For example, if your kids have an activity or two several nights a week, there's not going to be a whole lot of time for homework, chores, rest for you or them, etc., etc. If it feels like too much, it probably is. Not just for you, but maybe for the whole family. And maybe on the nights there are activities going on. We eat leftovers or we eat something easy. We don't try to pile on and do too much. You can also get more organized so there is more time and energy and money to do what must be done. Being preventative is a boundary issue, and it goes a long way to restoring peace and lowering anxiety. Since you got that oil changed on time, your car runs better. Template this concept of the oil change to any other situation, and voila, it becomes less stressful in terms of things that you can control. Stress is still going to come at us, but we want to focus on mitigating some of that by being very careful and conscious about what we're saying no and yes to. Be very choosy about what you give your energy to. You might just end up frustrated and resentful. So those are some examples of some things you might want to say no to. You may have your own list, and I hope you do. Don't get overwhelmed by it. Just start tackling it bit by bit, day by day. What about saying yes? How about saying yes to time for listening to your inner voice? That is big time self-care. Saying yes to your inner voice means listening to your intuition and acting on your authentic desires and needs. Here are some ways to get centered and, of course, do whatever works best for you. I mean, you may already have a practice and just need to get back to it, and that's cool. The first one is you can begin practicing mindfulness. Just taking a moment to focus on your thoughts and your emotions without judgment. Just allow them to come in, validate them softly, observe. Don't judge them. Don't get all upset. Just accept them. Number 2, find some stillness. Find quiet time and space to reflect and listen to your inner voice. The other piece to this, which is science-based, is that your subconscious needs downtime to crystallize all the data it's been absorbing, which is why, if you're like me, all the great ideas come when you're in the shower, when you're driving, when you can't write anything down, right? Because you're not doing anything that requires active thinking. You're doing something that is reflexive at this point, and your brain has already automated how to take a shower or drive a car. Another way to listen to your inner voice is to ask yourself some questions. Ask yourself questions that help you identify your true feelings, your values, and your desires. Like, how do I really feel about what they asked me to do? Why does that make sense? What do I really value in this situation? What do I really want? Is that what I want? What do I want? Do I need to take some time and figure that out? Am I doing what other people want me to do? Am I people-pleasing? Number 3, pay attention to physical sensations just as you go through your day. Notice physical sensations in your body, like tension, like your back hurts, your heart's beating too fast, there's discomfort, you feel drained. Pay attention to that. Think about why you might be feeling like that. Maybe you need to look at something. Number 4, write it down. Try to write down your thoughts and feelings in a journal or something to help you reflect on them and better understand your inner voice. And you might be surprised that things may come out on paper that you didn't know would come out. Try to handwrite too. I know people like to put notes on their phone and all that, and that's cool, but handwriting interacts with your brain differently, and it's better. 5, take breaks from external distractions whenever and for as long as you can. Try to disconnect from tech and other distractions in order to more fully focus on your inner voice. Try to find a quiet place, go to your car, go for a walk, go to the bedroom, bathroom, wherever you can go. And finally, seek out support, like friends and family or a therapist or a coach who can provide supportive and non-judgmental space so you can reflect and listen to your inner voice. They're not going to try to fix you, tell you what to feel, tell you what to think, or freak out. They just let you have your thoughts and feelings and reflect back that you're not crazy and you make sense. This helps build your self-trust. Okay, so those are some ways that we can tune into our inner voice. Now let's talk about some ways that you can say yes to your inner voice. The first one is start practicing trusting yourself more. Practice, practice, practice. No results yet, just practice. Like practice believing in your own instincts. maybe your abilities and judgment, just a little bit. Like maybe I'll go to this store, you say, or text this person who just popped into my head for no reason. Trusting your intuition, trusting that little nudge is trusting yourself. Alongside this, of course, is conscious stuff like getting really clear with your why you think something, or why you need something, or why something really matters to you, or why you're pissed off. Come on, you're smart, you're capable, and you're willing to learn. I want you to really think about why you think something. Now, if it's a distorted belief, you can look at that. Like, for example, a distorted belief is, oh, I can't do that. I want you to ask yourself, how do I know that? So get grounded within yourself. Practice setting boundaries. That's an obvious one, right? Try saying no to things that don't align with your values or goals, that aren't in line with you prioritizing your well-being, since we're talking about self-care. Look, if it doesn't feel right, it probably isn't right. You know, even though most of the time we don't get the why until hindsight shows up later and says, oh, that's why I felt like I didn't want to go do that thing. Start trusting, saying no to things that don't feel right. The other way to practice using your inner voice is focus on pursuing your passions. Even if it's a little bit of time each week, try to invest some time and energy into things that you love, that bring you joy, help you feel fulfilled and present and alive. All the little moments add up. Every moment matters. Another way is to start taking calculated risks. Step outside of your comfort zone just a little bit and try new things. Trust that you have the ability to handle challenges and overcome obstacles, right? You're going to tell yourself, okay, here are 3 outcomes that are possible. Let me see how I feel about all 3 of them. Some are better than others. Maybe one I'm terrified of. But walk through them emotionally and cognitively in your mind so that you can already mentally prepare yourself for what could happen. That's 90% of the battle, guys. And then once we've kind of made peace in a way with different things that could come from what we're getting ready to do, we feel stronger and less afraid. Finally, surround yourself with as many positive influences as you can. Like seek out relationships and activities that support and encourage your inner voice, that don't go against it. Remember, it probably will take time and practice to quiet the noise of all the external distractions and listen to your inner voice. Be patient and kind and compassionate with yourself. And just try to keep practicing this. You will get better and better at it. Okay. So another thing we want to say yes to is time for planning. It's the thing we say we'll do more of, and then the week goes by in a blur, and well, you know. Taking time for planning is a boundary issue, I think. So if you struggle to carve out and hold sacred some planning time each week, maybe each month, each quarter, and each year, then it might be good to look at why. Do you believe you deserve to take time and stop and plan? Why or why not? And of course you do. We all do. You know, remember, it's going to pay off in the long run. You know this logically. Take a moment right now and think back to times when you did take moments to look ahead, be intentional, put something in place, be preventative. How good did that feel? How good did that feel to pay that thing on time and get that off your heart? To plan a vacation ahead of time, save some money, and then when vacation time came up, you had a place to go. That's self-love. That is making sure that in the future, things, whatever's within your control, will be as good as they can be. When we plan, we take our power back. Okay? And unfortunately, fear can keep us from doing this. It can really hang us up and, another week goes by, and we don't do it. Here are some probably irrational fears, but that are very common. Like the fear that you'll be controlled and won't have freedom if you plan things. If you grew up with controlling parents or controlling situations, this could be your way to rebel. But just remember, you're a grown-up now, so all that rebelling is only hurting you. And it's not going to keep you from having freedom. It's actually going to allow you to have more freedom. That's a hard one to metabolize, though. That's where most people struggle. But think about it. If you save money, which is the discipline piece, which is planning, you're creating more financial freedom for yourself, not less. The other fear is worrying about having to stick to things exactly. Like fear of not doing it perfectly. Really, it's perfectionism. Just remind yourself that with most things, you can tweak them as you go. You can, for example, try a meal prep this week and see how it works. See what parts of it worked, what parts of it didn't for you. Remember the power of experiential data. Don't try to control everything up front. Just, plan what you're going to do and you're going to try it out and see how it goes. So a big area of planning, obviously, is your schedule. I want you to look at where is your balance. Is there time there for self-care built in? Is there time built in to get some things done? And when are you going to do that? Not just making a big long to-do list that is just going to overwhelm you and depress you. But when in your week do you want to try to do things? Have you built in buffer time for stuff to go wrong, right? Because that's going to happen. Is there room for what you have to do plus what you want to do? In areas of work, your social, rest, play, home stuff, family time, maybe some adventure, maybe get out of Dodge and do something different. Maybe clean the closet or 2 boxes from the garage. Remember, we don't have to do all or nothing or perfect. Focus on just what feels right for you this week. And I just want you to take a moment and imagine what might some of those things be. So that's the schedule. And then think about your overall, like your work, your friends, your family, vacations, your home, workout time. Maybe you're planning to move this year. Maybe go back to school or finish school. Maybe redo the house. So those are the big dream kind of stuff, or the big concepts of people retiring, people moving, people changing jobs. Another area of planning is around the difficult things. Things we have to confront, face, deal with, maybe grieve. Like maybe a child graduating high school. Maybe a partner who won't do right. Maybe amends you need to make to a friend. Maybe asking for a raise. And part of this planning is, who do you need help from to make this more manageable and doable? So those are things that we can say yes to in terms of planning and being proactive, not controlling, just proactive and intentional. Remember, there's a difference. And finally, self-care means saying yes to time for taking action. The boundary work here is accepting what you already know, that nothing is really going to get better until you start actually doing something. It ain't real until you follow through, is what I tell myself all the time. If you don't act, then you're just going to stay in denial that just thinking, planning, and talking about it all the time is actually doing something when it's not. Is it helping us with our anxiety? Do we need to do a little bit of that to process getting ready to be ready? Sure. But put a time limit on that. Doing, of course, is the hardest part because it makes it so damn real. It's where all the fear, because that's where all the risk is. But it's what changes things. Fear can be such a powerful obstacle that it prevents you from taking action. Here are some steps that you can take to overcome it. The first one is obvious. Identify the source of your fear. Take some time to reflect on what is causing your fear and why it's holding you back. Things like perfectionism, past trauma, which is very real, past failures, watching other people fail, times you were shamed for trying or not doing it perfectly. That'll be enough. and grab some compassion around that. Don't feel bad because you're afraid. Acknowledge it, accept it. But then reframe your thoughts. Challenge those negative thoughts and reframe them into a positive light as best you can. Focus on what you want to achieve rather than what you fear might happen. Yep, keep your eye on that damn goal. Make that bigger and louder than your fear. And it always helps to focus on the why this must be done. Think about the consequences of what will happen if you don't do this thing, face this thing, deal with this thing. Then you want to make a plan. Break that goal down to smaller, more manageable pieces and create a plan of how you're going to take action. This can help you feel like it's more doable, because it is. And you can have more confidence and feel like you have more healthy control. Just doing the first step. And seek support. Get some help. Get some love around you. Get someone healthy and trusted. Or consider working with a coach or a therapist that can provide guidance and support. Therapist if you need to do some trauma work that you've been putting off. A coach if you just need some help saying no or being more assertive or taking a step forward. And speaking of steps, you hear me say all the time, take small ones to start if you can. Try to start with the small, manageable little actions to build your confidence and momentum. Then gradually increase the difficulty as you become more confident and more comfortable. You will become more empowered with everything you do because of what this means, because it means you can do more than you thought. And that getting started is 90% of the battle, just showing up. And you gain confidence by facing things and not running from them. No one talks about that part enough. That builds self-trust and self-confidence. It lowers your anxiety because you're actually not running away, you're facing. You're being brave. And do lots of self-care when you're doing this stuff. Make sure, take care of yourself both physically and emotionally the best you can. This is going to raise anxiety. It's going to be stressful. So build in some downtime too. And celebrate your progress. You'll recognize and celebrate your accomplishments, and nothing's too small, guys. That's going to help build your confidence and boost your motivation. Remember, taking action is often a journey. It's going to require time and patience and love and support. Be gentle with yourself and focus on what you can control. Over time, you're going to find that your confidence is going to grow, even if it's just slowly at first. And your fears are going to become less of a barrier to taking action. God, they're not going to matter as much as the good stuff you're going to get by dealing with things. So today we started out the month all about self-care by focusing on the boundary aspects of saying no to what isn't supporting you anymore, about taking quiet time to listen to your inner wisdom, saying yes to planning, and then, of course, taking action with baby steps to begin the journey. By taking time for self-care, you're going to build a better you. You're going to become more capable and more confident than before. I encourage you, just begin today by telling yourself at least that you deserve better, you want better, and that you deserve to love yourself more by taking better care of your life. Thank you so much for being here today. Thank you for taking time for you today by listening to this episode. I hope it encouraged you to focus on loving yourself more with self-care boundaries. Be sure to check the show notes at ownitpowercast.com and get the newsletter if you don't already have it. That's where all the good stuff is. So, pay it forward. Keep focusing on you, and I'll see you next time.
We hope you took away some useful insights and tools you can begin using right away. If you did, please leave a positive review and share on your social media. Because could you imagine if everyone in your life really got it together? Remember, own it now, so you can really own it later.